Welcome back to the Radical Innovators podcast. I'm your host, Frank Congiu, and for this episode, I sit down with a guest who fully embraces the idea of a people-first strategy that's focused on listening to talent and driving the changes they want to see. Shurawl Sibblies is Executive Vice President, CHRO of MetLife, where she truly enjoys working at the intersection of people, data, and strategy. During our conversation, Shurawl discusses her non-traditional journey to HR leadership, which all started when someone recognized something in her that she didn't see in herself. She then addresses how MetLife gives all people new opportunities to learn and grow so they too can embark on a career path they might not otherwise have considered. Shurawl also considers why it's so important to listen to employees and why employee surveys are such a crucial tool to take the actions that build the trust and increase employee satisfaction. Stay tuned for plenty more pieces of wisdom from Shurawl, including why her grandmother is her biggest mentor. Now, let's dive in with Shurawl Sibblies. Hey, Shurawl, great to see you and welcome to Radical Innovators.
Thank you, Frank. I'm so honored to be here.
Yeah, I've been excited and looking forward to having this conversation with you. So, look, maybe we'll just jump right in.
Sounds good.
So, for those who don't know you, I think you come in with a bit of a different background and a unique background, having come in from finance to product management and then HR analytics, before eventually becoming the EVP and CHRO of MetLife. Would love it if you just take a minute or two to share a bit about your journey, particularly given it's a little bit not traditional for most of the HR leaders that we know.
Totally. And I did not anticipate a career in HR. My aspiration was really to be a CFO. I love numbers, I love data and analytics, and started off my career in finance and loved it and was having, a great experience. But at some point along the way, Um, I worked for a head of HR. One of the areas I was supporting was the HR organization as their finance partner. And the CHRO at the time, really appreciated my insights and perspective. And I want to say I joined HR because I got invited to be, I just love business and being at the table from an HR perspective, just gave me an opportunity to share perspective and insights at that leadership team table. And I fell in love with the function and fell in love with doing the work in HR. And it makes a ton of sense, but I didn't see it initially. So I think that's one of the hallmarks of great leaders who see things in you that you may not see and open up the door for an opportunity to spend time, in the HR organization. I haven't looked back. It's been, a long time now. I haven't looked back ever since.
Well, you've made it to the top, so it'd be hard to want to look back now. But as you think about that, right, I think you talk about the importance of having great leaders that are able to pick up and recognize that particularly that is a strength for you. But was there one pivotal moment that you'd say inspired your shift and your focus from finance fully into embracing the power of HR and data and combining those two?
Yeah, I think the pivotal moment was actually fueled by a love for business and just a CHRO at the time. So the first CHRO I reported to was Dermot O'Brien. And he was so generous and kind, to see what I could contribute from an analytical perspective and just having a different take. I deeply care about people. And I think just that insight between the data, um, people, strategy for business. So many organizations, we always talk about what the big competitive edge is. One of your biggest competitive edges is having phenomenal people at your organization to deliver. And being able to help people be their best, was just part of my journey in HR. And I think just getting that invitation to join the organization was just the game changer. It totally opened up my eyes to what was possible, in a way that I could not have ever imagined. But one of the greatest honors, I think, is helping people to live out their ambition, to see what they could do, how they can grow, how they could contribute. It's actually an honor and a privilege to be in this discipline.
Yeah, I love it. And Dermot's name is a throwback. So Dermot attended the very first
CHRO dinner hosted back in 2015, of which Franz, who was your CHRO at the time at MetLife, joined. So full
Oh, that's
circle moment there.
awesome.
So I want to shift a little bit to you. You've talked a lot about shaping the future of work and previous conversations that we've had, and I know you talk about being an advocate for optimizing organizational design, really through leveraging data-informed insights and best practices. I'm curious what that looks like in practice for you at MetLife.
Yeah, you know what? At MetLife, we're in the business of keeping promises to people. Part of what we do is part of our purpose is making deep commitments to our customers. We need to be there for them sometimes in their greatest, times of need. And one of the things that I'm excited about here at MetLife in practice is making sure that we're leveraging and giving our people the best opportunities to grow, to be able to contribute, to grow their skills so they could deliver. We have a program here. One of the things that we have here is actually a My Path. We call it My Path. We enable our people to, you know, connect to other opportunities across the company to solve business challenges. And they raise their hands, and it can be out of their domain, out of their specific discipline, outside of the country they potentially work or support, and get opportunities to be able to build their skills, but contribute to business outcomes. It's you still have your day job, but this is an opportunity to get a project outside of your domain so that you can deliver. What I love it is that people raise their hands so they can opt in and they have a chance to grow. And sometimes they get energized by an entirely different career path that they might not have otherwise done had they not opted in to learn and grow in this way. And I love that. You get to support the customer, you get to learn and grow, you get to meet new people and expand your network. Thousands of people across the company have taken us up on this. And I think that's an exciting way to deliver customer outcomes, but also grow your career.
And with that focus on fundamentally, how's that reshaped the future of work at MetLife? And I imagine this has done great things for not only your retention, but probably mobility and helping people discover their own new path, similar to your own background.
Well, you know what I love about it is that, it's sort of AI enabled as well. So sometimes if people can put in what types of skills and capabilities they want to grow and be matched to things that they might not have thought about. And I love that we can leverage technology to kind of fuel human performance in that way. This has been, I think, a game changer for us in terms of engagement and fueling ways for people to contribute, add their skills to things that they might not have thought was possible.
Well, I knew it was going to be only a matter of minutes until AI come up at some point. And so I'm curious about AI integration as a priority. It's for every single executive team. It comes up at every event that I'm at, and I'm sure the same for you. In your view, how should organizations be balancing this AI adoption, which is a critical need to prioritize against also the development of human skills, right? We see a lot of people indexing in terms of development around AI proficiency, but curious what that looks like in a human focused and environment.
Yeah. So a ton has to be about just being learning and being fluent in what AI is. It absolutely is one of the most transformative things of our time that will impact all of our work, all of our roles. For us, we think about it in the standpoint of one, democratize learning. So everyone across our company has access to learn about AI. And I would tell you, when we take a look at the top 5 courses and learning opportunities that people are taking advantage at MetLife. Almost all of them are focused on AI, and that's what our people are saying they want to learn. Two, we've been really focused on our customer. So we look end to end at our business processes. We're in the business, of course, one of the key things we focus on is claims. And I think about the work our tech team and our frontline associates have done in terms of leveraging technology, leveraging AI to service our customers. Now, our folks are on the lines with customers. They're getting insights to help coach them as they're on calls. They're getting information as they take calls from customers summarized for them instead of them having to do that afterwards on the call so they understand what's happened on the call with customers. They get nudges on taking breaks if they've been through maybe a particularly difficult or emotional call. We have so many ways that technology is fueling how we deliver for our customers, but it's also providing a better work experience for our people. I feel like in a way, we've just scratched the surface. Many of us have because there's so much left for the future. But right now, we're changing the way we're working, but we're having an impact on our customer, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, that's what it's really all about at the end of the day is, your employees is your first customer, but then, your ultimate customers, and feeling that this is beneficial in driving a better experience across the board, whether it's, your development of your employees and then, of course, servicing your customers. So you mentioned MyPath. Are there other programs that you're leveraging or resources around ensuring that people who may not be a skill set for the future of MetLife, but are a great cultural fit, can be developed and retained and moved into roles that'll be future fit for MetLife?
Yeah, one of the other things that we have going on here is a program called Citizen Developer. And this is another way to democratize you. It's kind of like a way to have you may not have any coding experience whatsoever, and you don't have to. This is an opportunity for our associates to be able to sort of again raise their hands, use some low code, no code capability, figure out how they can solve business problems. And I love sort of the formula for being a citizens developer. One, you raise your hand and opt in and say, I want to learn. I want to learn. Two, you're able to get some self-paced learning. You get live help if you need it. You're able to be in a cohort with other people learning with you in this community. And then you're also able to apply what you're learning along the way to real challenges. So you're not just like learning and I know generally, but you're learning and applying what you're learning to a business problem. And then we also require you to mentor somebody else who may come after you who also wants to learn how to be a citizen developer. And I've seen people from executive assistants to people in our HR organization to technology to finance all over the company, we have different people from different disciplines figuring out how they can leverage technology to make work better. And they're in a community. So I love it. It's like learning, but also engagement and also mentoring, giving it kind of paying it forward, paying it back to somebody else who may be learning with you coming up next. So I think that's really, it's another cool way to get engaged and energize our people.
And I think it's such a key thing too, is when people feel like they're going through something with other people, there's an increased level of accountability, engagement, and so you tend to see far better stickiness to driving real results.
Exactly, exactly. And hopefully some fun. I mean, I think all of the technology and all the things that are available, it's easy for people to feel overwhelmed. And to at least, I think, also have some fun and be with other colleagues learning. I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, number one, if we can make things more fun, of course you're going to have a greater outcome. And two, the other part being that as if it removes that stigma or the fear of that I'm behind everyone else when you sort of see that everyone's a bit in the same boat.
Exactly. And I think sometimes people say, oh, it's so easy. Well, it's not easy until you try. You don't know it's easy until you get in there and you try. And to know that you're trying along with other people to learn something different and to apply it. I think you're not in it by yourself. You're not in it alone. And that makes a difference too.
Yeah. I want to go back to you mentioned mentors a few times in terms of I think, Dermot seeing that and you in the first CHRO that you worked for, mentors and part of the different programs that you're leveraging. Going back, who are some of the biggest mentors or influences in your life that have helped you both personally and professionally?
You know, a couple of things come to mind. I think personally, actually, one of my greatest mentors is actually my grandmother. And, my grandmother immigrated here from Guyana. She did not have, like, too much of a formal education, but what she instilled in me was such a strong, strong work ethic. And when I look back on my career, I think about all the things that I learned from her. Super generous, considerate of other people, giving her best in whatever the situation was. A lot of my career and my background is actually shaped after what I learned from my grandmother. And I feel proud about that because I think I'm a lot like her in many ways. I didn't see it at the time growing up, but now that I look back, I think I'm a lot like her. In a way, she was kind of like a protector for me, candidly, but really the strongest role model in my life.
Yeah, I love it. How about professionally?
Professionally, oh my gosh. So I can share a fun fact with you in this. When I think about every CHRO that I reported to directly, all of them are National Academy of HR Fellows. Dermot O'Brien was the first, um, Susan Podliger was the second, and Monique Herrera was the third. Monique Herrera at American Express and Susan Podliger, former CHRO of MetLife, all three. So I feel like I've learned from the best and from everyone I've worked, every boss I've ever had, I've learned a ton from coaching, great feedback, good perspective, straight talk, deep passion for their space and what they do. Those are the things that embody, some of the best leaders. So I'd call out, you got three at least.
Yeah, and some great ones there. Susan, particularly, I think I was at an event and somebody from her team mentioned that she came in to visit MetLife recently, and everybody was cheering as if it was a rock star walking down the hall. So, big shoes to fill, but everybody speaks so incredibly highly of you as well. So it's phenomenal that continues on in MetLife. So I'll just ask maybe some questions about future forward looking. And as you look ahead, what's some of the data direction you see as the mandate for the HR profession over the next 3 to 5 years? Like, how do you see that changing, particularly given your lens and being more of a maybe more of a data driven leader?
Yeah. So, one of the things I think about is to make the best use of data. Hopefully, data is as good as the quality that exists. And I think looking at your end-to-end processes before you get into other things around data, I think is going to make a world of difference. What we tend to find is that you are not going to maximize your potential, frankly, with AI, with process reengineering, if you're not taking an end-to-end look at your processes and how things work to set the foundation to take advantage of great data. So I think data quality is imperative. We have a ton of data in HR, but it's only gonna be great if the quality is good, and we really are thinking about our end-to-end processes to make sure that it's in great order. So I think that's gonna be really important. The other thing I'd say is just do a lot of listening. When I think about what we have here, we do certainly an annual employee survey. We call it My Voice, truly reflecting the voices of our people. Um, that data tells us a ton about what's on people's minds, what it is that they're longing for, where we're great, how we can do better. And when you listen and take action, oh my gosh, it just fuels trust. So that data is rich. I am thrilled about one of our greatest insights from our data is that our number one scoring item actually is a question that I believe action will be taken as a result of this survey. That's one of our top questions at MetLife for a couple years running now. We're probably like 15 points above benchmark. That actually tells us that there's trust. Trust in that we're going to listen, trust in what we're doing. And I think it's really helped to make MetLife, a fantastic place to work because people know that we listen. We just were named one of Fortune's world's 25 best workplaces, climbed to number 10 this year. That was like just a few days ago, Frank, actually. So you're getting news like hot off the press. And part of it is because of the trust. We listen, we take the data seriously, and we action. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's really for, right? Is making sure that you do that. And then of course, hopefully people hear that and see that and there's a great level of transparency so people know that if they do put their opinions forward, they're going to be addressed. So that's phenomenal. The last question would be just if you were to give a piece of advice to a future CHRO who's starting their career today in HR, what would that be?
Um, wow. Think advice if you're going to start your career in HR. Number one, I'd say is, and this is not unique to HR exactly, but I think it's super important. And I think it's about knowing that you are enough just as you are. I think sometimes when we have an aspiration, we're trying to be like somebody else. Oh, that person did it good. I'm going to be them. Oh, that person did it greater in that industry. And you have to know that you are enough just as you are, and you uniquely bring capability, strength, and contribution in a way that no one else can. Probably earlier in my career, that would have been something that would have been helpful to be more mindful of. But over time, I'm really clear that I'm not like anybody else. You're not like anybody else. We're all uniquely and wonderfully made. So just like keeping that in mind. Two, I'd say maybe getting more specifically to your question, I think is just really understanding your business. Part of what got me in HR is a deep curiosity for business. Certainly data insights, but I felt like one of the best ways to understand the business is understanding its financials, how you make money, what measures and metrics you're utilizing. That is still true for HR. At the end of the day, your company exists to deliver value to its customers. How you measure performance, how the business works, that fuels you to make the best impact irrespective of your domain. HR is no different. So I'd say that those two things, being true to who you are and knowing that you could contribute no matter what your background is, and truly understanding your business because it'll shape your decision making, and it'll help you get to the best outcomes that add value.
Yeah. That the first one, we might have to get some stickers made out and hand those out to people on your team, put them on their monitor.
I hope so. I hope so.
Alright, now to the tougher questions, so just a quick couple rapid fire, but, beach vacation or ski vacation?
Beach vacation.
Okay, and where? Where would the be?
Well, so this is gonna be a hard one. This is gonna be like a sweet and sour one, because
Okay.
my husband is from Jamaica. We did our honeymoon in Jamaica. We go to Jamaica almost every other year. Usually we spend New Year's Eve in Jamaica. And it would be what I would consider the happy place for our family, given the recent hurricanes not so long ago. The country is definitely in a need for a ton of help, and they're in the midst of rebuilding. So I'd say Jamaica is a place that is very fun to us and our family, and our hearts are with the people now who are navigating rebuilding. I have no doubt in their resilience, but Jamaica and a beach vacation is near and dear to me for sure.
Alright. Um, Concert or Netflix and chill?
Concert. Do you know, like, I'm a huge concert fan? I just went to a concert last week, actually.
What
Like, I
was
go
it?
This was actually the Aces. You know the Aces?
I have to admit I don't.
To check them out. It's a cool vibe. It's kind of alternative pop. But my daughter, that's her favorite band. I've seen the Aces a few times in different cities with her.
Okay. Well, I know I'm
Yeah.
gonna see you at another concert, next month.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. Carnegie Hall. We're going to see Carla Harris in concert. Carla's one of our board members and a phenomenal singer. So we're excited to go to her concert at Carnegie Hall. Yes.
Yeah, it's multi-talented, amazing person. For anyone who doesn't know Carla Harris, check her out. Amazing author, long-term, Morgan Stanley executive, and actually sells out Carnegie Hall annually, which is phenomenal.
Phenomenal leader.
And
Phenomenal
usually
leader.
about 10 outfit changes, give or take. Shawal, thank you so much for spending some time with us. It was great to hear from you. I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you so much, Frank. I appreciate your generosity for having me, and I will see you this week.
See you soon.
Bye bye.